side, as if they make a fucking difference.
It does, yeah. You on both sides of the fence. It's Esau, bro.
It's Esau. It's not Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know.
Right? Because on either side, one side you want, you know, you have the so-called Democratic Party that's been pushing LGBT and straight up Satanism. You know, everybody come together as one, and we all, you know. And then on the other side, you got the so-called Republican Party, which is landowning Edomite nationalists, where they want to just keep you under, you know, Esau's Christianity. What does that look like, man? Like I just saw a video where these Republican senators are raising the taxes by 74% on people that make under $30,000 a year. It's fucking crazy. So either way, you're a slave. That's why this place needs to be destroyed, man. This is unjust. What you're dealing with here in this society is unjust. So what if you have the opportunity to maybe, you know, be rich and fucking... Nah, bro. And besides that fact, they're trying... Their whole plan is to bring in a whole new monetary system. Bring in the CBDC anyways, man. Which is going to collapse the economy.
Yep. And the more money you even make here, the more you get taxed. Being an Israelite. You know, when the brother talking about what he just spoke of being taxed, what, 70%?
Yeah, they're raising the tax. So they're raising the taxes like 74% on people that make under $30,000 a year. That's the poor bracket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So while the fucking rich people are getting tax rates, regular ass people, working class people that are you know, struggling, they're raising the taxes on you.
Yep.
And this is the fucking guy you want to uphold, who you want to run to for help?
And they make you pay those taxes subliminally. They'll raise the rent, they'll raise food prices. Okay? So even if you're out here homeless, you know, living on the street, when you go to buy food you need to eat, alright, you're getting taxed to hell and back, man. There was this guy, he looked like an Edomite, he was leaving the store, and he's like, I just paid $150 for this shit. And it was like 3 bags, you know, of food.
It's like nothing, man.
But 10 years ago, you could have left with the whole shopping cart full. I remember when I first came in the truth. And you know, Jake was, you know, you gotta be wise as a serpent, you gotta use the world that's not abusing the world. So I had EBT, and I was able to go to like grocery outlet with like $200 and leave with the full shopping cart. Now you try that. You leave them with a couple bags, bro.
Yeah.
And it won't even last you like 3 weeks.
And then what were they crying out? What were they screaming about? You know, oh, vote Republican, get Trump in there, get Trump. Well, Trump's in there. Everything's worse.
Yeah.
It's even worse than when fucking Biden was there. So it don't matter.
He lied to you guys, man.
It don't fucking matter.
Yeah, Trump was supposed to make America great again. He's fucking this place off even more than anybody. You know?
I just saw a video the other day that was like this job fair. There was like 500 people at this fucking job fair, man. Because there's no jobs. And every time a president gets up in office, they're always talking about how they created millions of new fucking jobs. The job market is getting more and more scarce. Because there's nothing that's gonna save this place. It's fucking on its way out, bro. And all Esau can do is just lie to you. And promise to make it better. They're empty promises, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the only thing that these fucking senators and Republicans and Democrats, at the end of the day, they're only worried about them and their rich fucking constituents and their rich fucking corporate lobbyists and themselves. That's it. They don't fucking care about you. On either side.
Yep. They don't care about fucking the troops that go and get blown to hell and back. They don't give a fuck. You know? And the scriptures say that a thing that pisses the Lord off is a man of war that suffereth poverty. Alright? And you got all these homeless. You can look at the shelters. You know, you look at the shelters, they're packed with veterans, bro. And the veterans be all fucked in the head because they went and fought a war, thought they were fighting and dying for their country, and they come back home to nothing. They realize that country they fought for doesn't care about them.
Yeah. Huh. You watch videos about guys that went to like Afghanistan and Iraq, and then talk about the shit that was going on. That's why they're all fucked up, because it was like the same thing with like Vietnam, bro. They had little babies with bombs strapped to them. Little kids riding around, you know, on bicycles with explosives in the tires, dog. And the kid didn't even know that there was a bomb strapped, you know, there was a bomb on him. They just tell the little kid, hey, go over there and fucking, you know, ask them soldiers for a candy bar and ask them for some money or something. They go over there and just blow them up. Or they will use women and children as human shields, bro. These were desperate people that they were fighting.
Yeah.
That's why they came back off. That's why they came back all fucked up, man. They said there was a video that said when they pulled out of Afghanistan, remember when they left like all that military equipment and shit? That because the Taliban was going to retake the Afghanistan, that there was all these fucking women that were trying to throw their babies over this razor wire fence. And he said there was just like a big ass fence with dead babies hanging off and all tangled up and caught in the fucking razor wire. So imagine seeing that, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, when the Israelites were getting taken down by the Romans in 70 AD, they would do things like that too. You know, rather than suffering by the hands of the Romans, they offer themselves, because it was so vicious. And then Esau's a sick bastard. You don't know what he's going to do with your children and wife. You know, the Romans were a sick, vile fucking people, bro. They had a festivity called Saturnalia, where every law was permissible for, I believe, 24 hours. They would commit murder, they would commit rape, molestation of children, and it was lawful. Okay? For those 24, 48 hours, however long it was, man.
Oh, they just released a bunch of fucking names for the Epstein files not that long ago. And the majority of them were like billionaire bankers.
We already know Trump was in that bitch. Like, all the things were in there, man.
They wouldn't even name the names.
Right.
They were like, oh, a banker of this, you know, or two senators and this, that. They wouldn't even actually drop the names.
Yep.
Because it's them. That's why they don't. That's why they're trying to fight to keep it hidden. Because it's literally them.
And those are the same people coming back. Those same Romans, those same Greeks, man. This is Isaiah 14, verse 6. And it reads, "He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth." You know, this fucking devil has smote the people in wrath. The nations, everybody. Starting with these people. You know, you so-called black, Hispanics, Native Americans. You know. And now as he's beginning to get persecuted, when these nations actually come out and start fucking these Edomites up, man, ain't nobody gonna say, oh no, don't do it. You know, even our people. All right, because it's gonna happen real soon where he's gonna start butchering 2/3 of our people. Okay. And then these nations are gonna start shooting missiles and going to war. By that time, everybody's gonna be fed up with this devil, man, and it's gonna boil over into the kingdom.
Yeah, because you already see it happening. Like, everybody's tired of this fucking guy, except for, you know, some of you bugged out jakes that want to be on his side. This guy can't save himself, and you want to align yourself with him. These so-called fucking white Christians, bro, these Edomite Christians, they're being, all right, used by the state of Israel. They're being used by the so-called Jews, man. Yeah. That's their main demographic of protection and money, right? It's America's taxpayer dollars, Europe's taxpayer dollars. All right, they count on you, right, to give them funding, all right, to protect them, to keep them relevant over there in the fucking so-called Middle East. You know?
Yeah, it just came out that the U.S. military is seeking funding because they spent $500 billion in Israel just to deflect when Iran was shooting missiles in there, man.
Right.
You know, using the Tha'ad missile defense system and all that.
Right, yeah. So Iron Dome. What do you think paid for the Iron Dome?
So they're asking for money to replenish the stockpile of everything they used to help Israel out, man. Hey, man, these nations are starting with Russia and Iran and China. Bro, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is putting it in their heart to literally play chess with you guys, man. Have you guys deplete all your shit. So when war really breaks out, there's nothing you guys are going to be able to do. That's why it says go to the land of unwalled villages, man. You ain't going to have no troops here, no missiles to deflect anything. It's literally going to be there for the taking, man. You know, real soon. This thing is going to go down.
Yep, and there's not going to be anybody that's going to defend Esau. You're just going to get fucking ransacked, and nobody's going to help. Nobody's going to help. That's because, you know, you did too much wickedness in the world, bro.
Too much hurt.
Now it's all coming back. It's like every hand of the wicked shall be upon you. It says the worst of the heathen are gonna come and invade your ass. That's all in the scriptures, bro. You just can't get away from it, man. It's judgment. From Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it's just the way it goes. You do a bunch of evil shit, you gotta pay for it, bro. That's basics. That's basic. If I went and I broke into somebody's house with a shotgun and robbed their shit, like, what do you think is gonna happen to me? You know, you go to jail, you get taken to prison, or you know you're in the house and the homeowner smokes your ass, or you know, some type of judgment happens. This is the way the world, this is the way life works.
Yeah, you go to a restaurant, you sit down and eat, you order all this food, you gotta pay for it.
Yeah. That's what Esau did. Esau went into the restaurant, sat down, and was like, I want everything on the menu. But now he's just been sitting here eating everything on the menu for all these fucking years. Now it's coming time for the bill. It's about time for the bill.
Yep, you gotta pay that bill, bro.
Yeah, because this whole Edomites being the ruler of the world, it's going out the window, man. It's on its way out the window. These nations are ready to just say, fuck you, bro. This is Psalm 55 and 20. It says, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And that's I was gonna bring that out going into this whole sending the National Guard, because what is he gonna tell you? He's gonna, well, we're gonna make your city safe again. We're coming to help. We're coming to decrease the crime in the area. So you see this guy talking about peace and safety. Oh, we're coming in to help you guys to get rid of your crime problem. And then you got a bunch of jakes that are jumping up and down like, yeah, we need all you people that are saying this is bad. You don't fucking know what it's like. Hey, and I get it. There's neighborhoods that are really fucking bad in Chicago. There's places that are really bad in Detroit and in LA and Jake, there's a lot of, bullshit going on. But at the same time, if you think this motherfucker's sending the military in there and he's doing it for a good work, you're crazy, bro.
Crazy. It's for them to set up a perimeter. When they get their foot in there, they're gonna set up a fucking stronghold. They ain't gonna leave.
They're gonna occupy you, man.
They're gonna occupy until Yahweh Shai comes, man. Okay? That's why he wants to go into Venezuela. That's why he wants to go into Mexico and help with their cartel problem.
Yeah, so he wants to occupy those areas. That way when all hell breaks loose, the militaries are gonna be set up there. And then any demonstrations of rebellion, they're just gonna smoke you.
Yep. Because they know that Russians, Chinese are gonna try to creep through them borders.
Man, y'all have nothing. See, the media is sponsored, by the media is run by Esau himself.
So-called Jew.
So he's not telling you the truth. They don't want you to know, that the society's on the verge of an economic collapse. That literally the invasion has already begun. That there's already all kinds of sleeper cells in the fucking country. They're not trying to spark an alarm like that, to where it will cause mass chaos and hysteria before they're ready, before they want it to happen. Everything is, done in a certain order. They want to set it up first. It's being set up.
Yeah, this is Obadiah, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee, and there is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mountain of Esau. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mountain of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All Esau's allies. Oh God.
But yeah, yeah. Well, it says in the scriptures that he that touches the apple, Israel touches the apple of the Most High's eye. And Esau didn't stop with just Jake. Esau went around the whole world, fucking everybody up. So everyone's mad at you. You got the whole world is turned against you. Everybody's turned against you.
Huh? Well, Esau, the elite, they know that Jake is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth too. So he was like, hey, it's a win-win situation if we go fuck up with the heathen. So Jake's there too.
Satan among everybody.
Yep. Even amongst his own. That's why these devils, they got all the money, all the gold, all the silver in fucking Switzerland, man. And when you look at Switzerland is neutral in war when it comes to the whole world. Because then nobody could go and rob that bank.
Right. Yeah.
You know? That's why I call it what Swiss banks.
God.
You know? They're full on protected. That's where all the Edomite rulership, they put all their money. And real money is gold and silver, precious stones, cattle, land, slaves. Okay? That's what makes you rich.
Yep. This is Isaiah 14:1. It says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." The strangers being Israelite foreigners, Israelites that have been scattered among all the nations. Alright, because Jacob's been dealing with the other nations' women since, the beginning, since the very beginning, bro. Since the fall of man, I should say, the fall of, Adam.
Yeah, see, even right here it says Switzerland, nor does it join military alliances like NATO. So they're not even part of NATO or the beast. Because they want all that money protected.
Right.
Safe.
It says, "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." Which, if you're an Israelite in the world today at all, you're in captivity, no matter where you're at. You're being oppressed. You're not being told who you are. Alright? You're not being shown the respect that you're supposed to be shown. Jake is supposed to be in the rulership. Alright? But these nations are ruling over the world in madness. Alright? Worshiping their gods and doing all kind of fucking, you got the Moab eating all manner of abominations. You got the Elamites worshiping rats and monkeys and shit. You got just all kinds of madness going on in the world now. Nobody's calling upon the name Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai except for a very small number of people.
That's right.
It's the heathen that are ruling the world right now. So if you're in the society, you're in captivity by default. That's just, you were born into captivity here. Alright? And the majority of you Israelites are captivated by this society.
Well, yeah, all Israel.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder. This guy's a big baby. Alright? He's a big ass fucking baby with, the power of nuclear missiles. That's what this guy is. Well, anybody says something bad about me, I'm gonna go fuck you up. I'm gonna invade your country.
Yeah. He says, woman shall rule over us and children are our oppressors. Esau's just a big old fucking child.
This guy literally drove a plane did a psyop and drove planes into the towers in New York City to justify him going and just raping them Afghans, bro.
Yeah, he did it for two reasons: to cause a war in the Middle East, and also to fuck with the economy, man.
Yeah.
Because before it was called the World Trade Center. That's where the world,
Right. Yeah.
you know, came together for the economy of, you know, the world at that time.
Yeah, so he killed two birds with one stone in that. You know, that jacked up the economy.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what they're pushing towards, destroying this economic system so that they can bring in the new one. And now Trump is talking about going back into Afghanistan to set up a base because he wants to set the military base back up there.
Good luck.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. These nations are getting tired, bro. They're just like, what the fuck, man? You're gonna come back now?
You go back there, they got all the hardware you like. You know? And then what? You got all those nations that are getting riled up right now because of what's going on in Israel. You got India, which they were an ally. Now they're starting to make deals with Russia. That's why it says all thy men of that confederacy that ate thy bread, you know, and brought thee even to the border. Because soon even Elon is going to say, fuck you guys. You know?
No, they should, because they fucked up Elon too.
Oh yeah, the Brits. Yeah. Which is Esau Edom. Which is where you came out of. You know?
The British, they were the main ones that were going around smashing on everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because even America's Britain. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they smashed on India. They smashed on China.
Jaffa in Australia.
Yeah. Esau is over there.
Gad that was in Canada.
He said, this is Australia now, and where are the Australians?
Yeah. You got some fucking dingo chaser. What was his name? Steve Irwin?
While Japheth is over there just destitute.
Yeah.
Fucking still living in the Stone Age.
Yeah, when you think of Australia, you don't even
I bet you most people wouldn't even know that there's Japhites there.
You know?
They'll be like, what? There's dark people there?
Yeah, you think of Australian people as fucking those Britain Edomites, which when you look into it, they were exiled from the actual land of Britain. Other Edomites kicked them the fuck out. And they went out there killing Japheth and pretty much bought themselves back into the crown of the Queen of England, man. By butchering and taking that land for the Queen, man. But at first, some other Brits, they didn't want you fucking guys in the UK. So they sent you out there as vagabonds, man, as prisoners.
Oh yeah.
Fucking devils.
I mean, the whole of Europe was taken over by the Macedonians. You know, that's how the Greeks became the Greeks. You know, the Europeans, they stole all that land in Europe.
Yeah.
That was originally Japheth.
Japheth. And so it said that Japheth shall inhabit the islands, the isles, the islands. Which Greece and Rome and all that, they were islands, man. You know, they were surrounded by big bodies of water and little patches of land here and there. You know? And he went over there and took it over. That's why when you look at the ancient pottery, you'll see like the Minoans and the actual people of Greece, of Greece, and they were dark-skinned men. You know, they were dark-skinned. Even the Spartans, and then which were Jake's, and then Esau's ranks, they were dark-skinned. When you read in the Apocrypha and the Maccabees, he tells you in the book of Maccabees that the Spartans, the Lacedaemonians are the stock of Abraham. And they said that they made a bond with the Romans. Those Romans that it was talking about were Japhites, bro. And they came together to smash on Esau, man, and the other nations, bro. Because when they talked about Esau, he called them either the Greeks Or it actually called them Edomites when you read the Apocrypha, man.
Right. Yeah.
But those Romans that it mentions, that was Japhet, bro. You know? Because that was a little piece of the Japhet that were still right there that were, you know, still sovereign.
And you had Jake that was already in all these different places because of the Medes, because of the Persians, you know, all these different empires. And then Jake is, when you go in the scriptures and talks about, you know, you went a-whoring after your gods and this. Jake
want to do their own thing.
Jake got passed around by all these nations, bro.
Well, you know how Jake is, man. You fucking rub Jake the wrong way, they get all buttered and say, I'm gonna go do my own thing, man. Next you know, Jake got in a fucking island somewhere with nobody around.
Bro, I was reading that something earlier that was saying that the diaspora from the other empires like the Medes, the Persians and such, that plus when the Greeks came into power and all the Hellenization, it said that like 30 to 40% of Jake was already integrating into the Greek and Roman society. So there was already Hellen Jakes in Greece, in Athens, and you know what I mean. That's why you got all those philosophers and musicians and stuff, the different artists and stuff, bro.
Well, in the book of Nahum, they had to find the priests to figure out who was actually Jake.
Yeah.
Because of all the, you know, Jake taking all the heathen women and their children being scattered.
Jake was just everywhere. Jake just always been everywhere. Just always been everywhere, bro. Yeah. It's just that's the way it is.
Rahab, right? Rahab, when they came to spy out the land, she's an Israelite foreigner.
And she had to have been because the Lord said to kill everybody. But He's gonna give them a pass.
He's gonna give her a pass.
It's like, nah, bro.
No. Rahab, Achior, those are Israelite foreigners, man. Okay. They gave her a red ribbon to leave on her door.
Right.
Like, what, bro? We just kept the Passover. Where it said they sprinkled the blood on the doorpost.
Right.
That was like a token, like Passover her. You know?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's an Israelite foreigner.
This is Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth in the sea. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice as the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us. That's another thing that shows you who the Edomites are. Who's fucking cutting down the dang trees at an extinction level rate, bro? At a rate to where they're literally just like, how much it says they've already destroyed like 13% of the Amazon or something like this guy's a monster, bro.
Yeah, the Amazon rainforest. Yeah. Well, just places like out here, you know, you got Merced, which they call it the gateway to Yosemite. That whole region, like going towards Sonora, Jamestown, all that area was full. It was woods, bro.
Yeah.
It was the woods. I remember when my mom, she bought a house in Merced, and her house, and there was like one court in one little neighborhood, and the rest, it was just full of like the residue of them chopping down those trees. And now you got all kinds of fucking big old houses out there. They built a UC. How did they build the UC? They had to cut down all those trees, man.
Yeah.
They used to have bears, wolves out there, man. Why don't you see no fucking bears no more? No wolves no more. Because they killed their habitat, man. You know? They destroyed where they live. They forced them out. Just like you don't see no Gadites, bro. No native bears.
Fuck, bro. Yeah, man.
They're stuck at Chicken Ranch.
Yeah.
Under a tunnel somewhere, because you don't even see them inside Chicken Ranch.
You know, yeah.
So it'll say land of the Miwok tribe. I don't see a fucking Miwok anywhere. You know, well, what's a Miwok?
Yeah. they.
You go to Sonora, Jamestown, there ain't no fucking Gadites walking around. It's all Edomites, bro.
They fucking smashed on Gad, bro.
Yeah.
So vicious. And now, aren't they fucking with Gad now? Aren't they like, they're like trying to take the reservations from him now or something like that?
Well, Trump is saying that they don't have he's taking away their citizenship.
Right,
trying to take away
because they're sovereign on the, they're supposed to be sovereign on the reservation.
Yeah, which
now Esau's mad at that. Like, there's not enough. You already pulverized these. Like, come on, bro.
What do you call it? Birthright citizenship? He's trying to take from them?
This is a fucking. Esau's a fucking maniac, dog.
Yeah, it says Native American birthright citizenship is guaranteed by the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924, which made all Native Americans born in the U.S. citizens, and it's federal law. So this guy's trying to do away with federal law, his own black and white. That's wild, bro. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It says the Trump administration has cited a 19th century lawsuit that denied U.S. citizenship to Native Americans. That's wild. That's what he wants, man. Hey, the scriptures say that his belly is as hell and cannot be satisfied, bro.
Yeah, he's cruel.
Yeah.
He's a cruel fucking.
He's a cruel lord.
Yeah. This guy's an asshole.
I got time to play one more.
I'll just finish it.
Yeah.
It said, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, and stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth, and has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So this society is crumbling. These nations are being gathered together against this guy. But everybody is, bro. Even his own fucking people. You know, this guy's gonna fight amongst himself. You know, Esau's tired of himself, bro. Think about that. This guy's literally fucking tired of himself. But hey, you know, right now, and now we're seeing the rise and the Esau, you know, his last fucking hoorah where he wants to fight back and take his land back, whatever the fuck he thinks he's gonna do. But he's gonna be sorely disappointed, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man, with that. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, HaHarakan Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles. That was a great millstone, and shalom to those who led.
God, shalom.